Let's just first start off with the fact that, unfortunately, most people that get involved in the markets, day trading, swing trading, more so active trading, are going to fail. It's very difficult, and if you've been a long-time viewer of this channel, you know I talk about this quite a bit, and I've done many videos on this. Is it possible? It absolutely is possible. Is it difficult? Yes. And unfortunately, it's about to get, and it is getting that much more difficult to find success, especially for the younger generation of people, which is really a catch-22 and, just a big old buzzkill, because it's fantastic that people that are younger are saying, you know what? I don't want to depend on other people. I don't want to depend on the government. I just want to take care of myself. I want to be financially free. Fantastic. I love it. Fantastic mentality to have. However, as the research and science is starting to come out, and really when you stop and think about it and reflect on it, it's not like anything is mind-blowing. I don't think I'm going to catch anybody off guard here and be like, wow, I never thought of that. In fact, you'll probably be like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Or you might be saying, really? Did you really need to spend any money at all to conduct this scientific study? I thought that was pretty obvious. So I do actually see your point of view too, because like I said, I don't think this is really mind-blowing, but it is now starting to be more so cemented in the fact of there's research dollars being put into it, and we're starting to get the results back from it. So in order to kind of illustrate this and go through my thought process and why, and my theory behind why just even more people are going to fail, comes from this article here, and the article is actually talking more so about Robinhood than anything else. And I am no fan of Robinhood if you've watched past videos, but I do disagree with this person. It's an opinion piece by right there, Mark Hulbert. And I don't agree about blaming Robinhood for any of this, but the part and what this is all based on, in some very interesting science here, is this part right here. The study in the August issue of the Journal of Economic Behavior and Organization is entitled Increased Risk-Taking, Net Loss or Not Loss Tolerance Drives Adolescents' Propensity to Gamble More Under Peer Observation. So what it basically did and what it basically determined was the research created elaborate experiments in which 18 to 24-year-olds were given the choice between a safe monetary outcome, and a lottery win. In other words, high risk. In some experience, they made their choices while alone, and others while being observed by their peers. They were, and this is the key part, they were far more likely to choose the risky lottery when being watched. So I don't think that's too shocking, though. Okay, people are watching me. Do I really want to just choose the boring option, the safer monetary outcome? Or do I want to take the riskier choice? Well, as the research shows, and I think most people would conclude, well, yeah, they were far more likely to choose the risky lottery when they were being watched. And this all comes from, and this is, I'm still, in the social media generation. I'm getting older, but I'm not like, I have no problem. I don't understand TikTok. Like, what are you supposed to do on TikTok? I guess I'll just throw that out there to gauge that. I'm not trying to come across like I'm some sort of social media, masterpiece in my understanding, but I do know enough to know that this makes perfect sense. And if you spend any amount of time on social media, message boards, you've probably seen this. Users who boast on social media about their profits. Have you ever seen that? People boasting about their profits, exploits, and the thrill of sticking it to the hedge funds, short sellings, and short sellers generally. Now, in my opinion, this is the key. This is the kicker, more of a secondary consequence, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But the thrill of sticking it to the hedge funds and short sellers generally. For me, that's what basically the backbone of my argument and my theory is built on. But so just keep that in your back of the mind right now. But you've seen that, right? And then reminding each other that you only live once, YOLO. So, have you seen this, right? Message boards, Wall Street Bets, right? Reddit, people doing crazy things. People cheering them on. People just, truly, just, and in many cases, just admitting to gambling. And they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and it makes sense why they're doing crazy stuff. Adolescent mind. And I remember being younger, right? The older and I guess grumpier I get, Truly, the less I care what people think. I just don't care. And now I understand why I would look at my parents and be like, why you just like, don't you care? And they're like, and I'm starting to get to that point where I literally just don't care. But 18, 24, yeah, I mean, you definitely put a lot of weight on things, right? Think about high school. I mean, for many, that was a traumatic experience because you care so much about what other people think. So you now factor this with investing and money, and people are just willing to take higher risk if they're being observed, if they know that they can throw it out there to the public, and like as just if they can boast about it and all that stuff in terms of to the public. Now, ultimately, and this is, nothing new, right? YOLOing, doing the things that you see out there, that's just not sustainable. I'm not saying it can't work. Of course it can work. That's the tricky part about the market is it will reward bad behaviors. But at the core, bad behaviors are nothing new. So bad behaviors always been around. Oh, and I should just note real quick that if you are interested in this research paper, there it is right there. It's a good, how many pages is it? Good, let's see. Oh, it keeps going. 50 pages long. So you have, if you want to go and check out the research paper, you can do that. That's fine. But I did want to at least cite the source of kind of where my personal theory is coming from here. But at the core, bad behaviors, nothing new. I think we can all agree on that. Whether you are 95 or 15 years old, bad behaviors have always been in the market. They always will be in the market. Now, the shape in which they take is going to be different, right? This is definitely a new sort of thing, YOLOing and bragging about it online and just going big or going home. That's definitely a new form, if you will. But at the core, when you boil it all down, it's still a bad behavior. And bad behaviors will ultimately get you destroyed. But this is where the point here, the thrill of sticking it to the hedge funds and short sellers generally. So the question becomes, okay, well, why does that thrill exist? Like, what makes that thrilling? Well, what makes that thrilling is this perception that the hedge funds, the short sellers, have rigged the system. They're a bunch of manipulators. They are the evil ones. So again, sticking it to them. Let's make them pay because they are manipulating, because the system is manipulated, because, right? Have you seen this? This should be nothing new if you spent really any amount of time on social media or message boards or anything like that. There is a general rule of thumb. There is a general thought process that hedge funds, and again, this is nothing new, right? Wall Street's always, as far as the headlines are concerned, evil, right? But in this specific case, the hedge funds, Wall Street, big banks, short sellers, they're all manipulating things. They're all in it together. They're all it's just not fair, right? So now we're sticking it to them. And the dangerous part here, and where my theory is built from, is, okay, that's one way to think that, but the way social media now, the way things are structured, is it's such an echo chamber. That's all you hear. All you hear is manipulation, manipulation, manipulation. Now, am I saying those people are wrong? No, they're not wrong. However, manipulation is just another way of saying taking advantage of situations. Now, whether you want to argue the morality of it, that's outside of the scope. But manipulation is really just taking advantage of a situation that exists. And right now, at the time of this, meme stocks is manipulation. Meme stocks, I think it's fantastic. It's great. It's hilarious. Meme stocks are a bunch of people that had said, hey, look at that stock. There are a bunch of guaranteed buyers in that stock. So how can we get those guaranteed buyers to have to buy? And those would be known as shorts, right? Because that's what a short does. A short turns themselves into a guaranteed buyer because in order to exit the position, they have to buy. So, and again, this is manipulation. People notice, wait a minute, we can take advantage because we know through data out there that particular stock has a bunch of guaranteed buyers in it. So how can we get them to have to buy? Well, let's all buy it collectively. And if we all buy, we're going to manipulate the situation to force them to have to buy. And then when they buy, prices are going to go up even further and create a short squeeze. Brilliant. There's no doubt about it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. It's great, great stuff. But it is, well, Clay, but that's not the same because we're sticking it to them. The people that are losing all the money are the hedge funds. And you're right. Okay, fine. But it's still manipulation. So again, morality behind, it's all manipulation. So all I'm getting at is that manipulation, aka seeking advantages, exploiting advantages, as the meme crowd has done. They've seeked out an advantage. They're exploiting the advantage at the cost of the hedge funds, but they're still exploiting advantages, right? Manipulating. Fine, whatever. That's the name of the game. We've got to find advantages as traders. You're trying to do whatever you can to leverage things in your probabilities. So manipulation has always existed. It will always exist. But why I think that more traders are going to fail is this, is let's go back to bad behaviors are eventually going to catch up. You're eventually going to lose money. You're eventually going to get kicked in the face. But if the conclusion at that point is not, it was me, it was my bad behaviors that caused me to be in the pain that I'm in right now. If it's not that, and I don't think it will be, because my theory is with this new generation of people coming in, their conclusion is, I lost money not because of bad behaviors, but because it's all manipulated. There's nothing I could do. It's all Wall Street. It's the hedge funds. It's the short sellers. It's not my fault at all. I did nothing wrong. It wasn't my random trade plans. It wasn't me not even having a trade plan. It wasn't me not managing risk. It was just the manipulation that got me. So why even bother to continue? And at that point, official failure. And they stay a failure because why even try again if you just think everything's manipulated? And it's in my opinion, it's very realistic that people are going to be thinking this way when they're in these echo chambers where all they hear all the time is that it's manipulation and it's bad manipulation and we're justified because the system is manipulated. And then they fail, then they lose money, which welcome to the club. We all lose money. We all have horror stories. That's just part of being a trader. But the other part of being a trader and succeeding is you got to blame the right source of blame. And the right source of blame is when you pull out the mirror and look into it. All right? Because there's always been manipulation. Yet there are many successful traders out there. There are traders that make money. There are a ton of traders in my community that make money. Now, when I say make money, am I saying that they're, cruising around on their yacht in the Bahamas while they're trading from their phone? That's not what I'm getting at. I'm getting at, hey, as a side hustle, as a way to pull in some extra money, as a just consistency. And consistency doesn't mean you win all the time and make money all the time. No, but consistently, you can actually pull money from the markets. But that within the forefront, within the quote unquote face of manipulation. And this is nothing new, right? That's why you've heard of a professional trader before. Because yeah, you can make money as long as you have your expectations in line with reality and don't think that having success as a trader is you have to, have a Rolex watch collection while you drive around in your, Maserati and, island hop amongst all your private islands. But now, yeah, if people just default to it's all manipulation, so why bother? Then there's not going to be any, let's try again. Let's get back up on the horse and let's give it another go. People are just going to walk away and be done with it and have a faulty assumption of it because of all these echo chambers, when in all actuality, it was just bad behaviors that got them there in the first place. And these bad behaviors, nothing new, just have taken another form. So I hope I'm wrong. I really do, especially with the younger crowd. As I started off the video saying, it's fantastic that they're interested, that they're getting involved, that they have a mentality of, I want freedom. I want to take control into my own hands. Such a good mentality. But this mentality is getting shifted so much into blaming things that have already been around forever. And the true cause is not what I think a lot of people are going to blame. The true cause is you're just being an idiot. And I was an idiot. And I say that, and I'll tell one final story. This is why I have no problem calling people an idiot and saying you're stupid or a moron, because I am king moron. I literally thought when I got started, I was going to be able to not even have to use my college degree because I was going to get rich on and not like a crypto, not like some sort of great biotech, not some sort of great, awesome, like new cutting edge technology. I thought I was going to get rich on a stainless steel muffler company. Okay, so when I say idiot, trust me, I know how to identify one. I am king idiot. But just admit, just laugh about it. Yeah, I was a moron. It was me. It was my bad habits that caused me this pain. Not the system, not manipulation. It was me. And then when you do that, you're like, all right, the question becomes, right, how do I survive knowing that manipulation is taking place? Well, but again, you're going to manipulate too, right? That's the job of a trader is how can I take advantage of situations? How can I locate an advantage and exploit that advantage? That's the whole idea. And it may sound bad, but all it is just locating, playing within the frame. Now, of course, inside information, that's just blatant, like inside information, but operating within inside of structure and then making it work for you. But if all you're going to admit and conclude is that it's all rigged against you and you'll never have success, so why bother? Well, then, yeah, that just means that more people are not going to try. And when more people stop trying or trying again, well, then those failure rates are going to go up that much more. Hopefully I'm wrong, but those are my thoughts on the topic. Let me know down below. Do you think I'm way off base here? Do you think I'm wrong? Would love to hear your thoughts on it. But like I said, leave those down below. If you enjoy these types of, I don't even know what to call them, philosophical. I think it's scientific based because I did throw the paper in there. But I don't know, hit that like button if you like these. Check out the channel as a whole. And if you like what you see enough, then I'd love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.